Welcome to a Drop Tent Media production.
The Porcupine with Adam Nutter.
Yo, what's up? Adam Nutter, Porcupine. Hey, I have fucking tinnitus in my ears and it's ringing so bad. I think I just have that now forever. I'm 35 and the doctor's like, you just have this. I was like, cool. That's great. I don't know from what. It's bananas. Anyway, thanks for joining me. How are you guys? Come see me do stand-up comedy. I have a lot of shows coming up. This Sunday, I'm up in Mohegan Sun. I'm up in Connecticut at Comics Roadhouse. 8 p.m. show. Come check that out. Then June 16th at the Stand in New York City, 9 p.m. show. Check that out. June 14th at Helium in Philly. It's a 7 p.m. show. Come check that out. And then, May 28th, Memorial Day weekend at the FOE Theater up in Bethlehem. Coming out to that. Those are, I have more shit down the road, but coming out to those. Go check out Cult of Us, a comedy podcast I do. Again, youtube.com/Cult of Us. I just did that. It was fun. No politics in that show, I promise. Just fun fucking around. All right. No one cares, though. Enough about me. Guys, my guest today is my brother Bear from the west side of Pennsylvania. Give it up for the man running for lieutenant governor himself, Mr. Tim McMaster.
Good evening, Mr. Nutter. How are you? And actually, I'm in the center, just so we're clear.
That's true. I'm so far to the right of the state.
Yeah.
Anything
west of Philly is the western state. I get it.
How
you been, brother?
Good. How are you been?
Busy.
Yeah, same.
Out collecting signatures all day yesterday for our great candidates.
Yes.
Here statewide, as well as doing some localized stuff for Dave Womack down in District 11, trying to help him out as well. Fighting this campaign, raising goats. Apparently just had a surprise baby goat born on us this afternoon. We thought she was just really fat and kind of sluggish because it was hot yesterday. Nope, baby.
Nice. That's awesome. So how many signatures you guys get?
I don't know. I haven't been around to the groups that are tallying them all so much. The most recent I heard was that we're pushing about 4,500 at this point, it's pretty good. The state, I guess, says we need 5,000 for our statewide candidates. So we're just right on the cusp of making it. But knowing how the state likes to screw us over, we're going to go for 10,000.
Wow.
I know here in New York, we're planning some big stuff. We're going to set up some tables and do some public stuff where we're actually out in the community, with a stand, with table, with banners, with paperwork, with the petitions. And we're saying like, hey, come talk to us. We're the real alternative to this, pardon the French, shit show that's going on in Harrisburg.
That's awesome. I know Brandon Benderum, our Bucks County Secretary, but he's also running for, I think, House, whatever, right? I'm fucking bad with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I think he's running for House Rep. I forget the exact district number, but I know on my official Facebook page, I endorsed him.
Brandon's he's great, but I think he already got all his signatures I think he needed, like, in one day.
It's fantastic.
It's crazy. Like, I mean, everyone really hit the ground. Not everybody. I didn't, but you guys hit the ground running really hard.
That's the thing. This is a team effort, man. Like, you're a sports guy, so you understand the analogy. It's like some people on a football team. There's special teams. There's quarterbacks. There's wide receivers. There's defense. Not everybody has to do the same thing all the time, because Tom Brady, arguably the GOAT of pro football,
for sure,
would have been an absolute dog shit middle linebacker. Quite honestly, the speed, the feet, but he's a great quarterback. So you're doing your Adam Nutter thing. You're raising awareness. You're doing the podcast. You're getting out there. You're being libertarianism with a smiling face.
Yeah.
We're the guys that are out there bothering people on election day, on primary day.
It's funny because that's how I feel. But like, if I say it, I feel like an asshole. But like, you said it, so I was like, yeah, that's right. Like, that's how I feel.
I'll be the asshole here. That's fine. You can agree
because
with me.
I feel weird. Like, okay, when people come to me on the street with anything political, I'm like, fuck you, like right fuck you right away attitude. It's like I know more than you almost. Like you know, like the Ron Swanson, like I know more than you thing, like go away.
You're at Home Depot. Yeah, I get it.
And I hate it. So I could only imagine like me being like, you want to sign my political thing? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay. Like I don't have the like veracity to like go after it.
And it's
like,
a different skill set. It's a different skill set. It's a different mindset. I mean, one of the first jobs I ever had when I was like 17 years old, man, I sold Kirby vacuum cleaners. And if you could sell a Kirby vacuum cleaner, you could do anything, with public speaking, with sales, with anything. Like you that gene or whatever it is in your brain that makes you afraid of public speaking, you lose that quick.
Yeah, obviously I'm not afraid of public speaking. It's just like it's like I feel like I'm just annoying someone, and like I don't have like the part of my brain to be like, oh, but like try to do it. It's just like, no, I don't want to bother this guy. And just like I would be like the worst thing.
It's a lot different. Say, talking to somebody one-on-one or like to like 2 or 3 people than it is standing in front of a crowd. I get that. Like I was a pro wrestler, that, and it's a hell of a lot easier to get 500 people or 1,000 people to pay attention to what you're doing than it is to get one person to do
it. There's this great picture I have where it was one of these shows I did where like they book like 47,000 comics on the show for some reason, and you're like, no one wants to see this, and I'm like last, and I'm like, and like there's like 2 people left in the audience by that time because it's like 1:30 in the morning, but there was really cool where like all the power went out. And they were like, we still want to do the show. And there were just like 3 or 4 people left. And someone had like this fucking flashlight and there was like smoke. And I was like on stage. It was like this really cool, like film noir picture of like just 4 people there. But like that was cool. But usually that shit sucks. Like if you're like, oh, there's 2 people here and they want to do the show, you're like, how?
the best shows, man. Like I know from wrestling, from playing in music and bands and stuff, is sometimes what you think is going to be like your worst show, like those are your best shows.
True.
Like craziest shit happens. You have the most fun doing it because really you give a shitometers off. So you're just like, hey, let's just go out here and have fun for me. And when you're having fun, everybody else is having fun.
That's true. It's like a nothing to lose attitude. It's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what made you decide to run for lieutenant governor?
Honestly, the party needed somebody.
Yeah.
And I felt like I had run a pretty good state Senate campaign the previous year in May for 48th district, which we did well enough that they completely reconfigured the 48th district to remove York County because they were so afraid of a libertarian coming into that district. So now we're in the 47th district, but that's a whole side story. But I felt like I did pretty good as a candidate for that. I felt like now I like Matt. I like Matt a lot as governor. We just we have different skills. Like we have different kind of personalities. Like we attack things differently. So I think like a really good wrestling tag team, you got to have like a little bit different style. His style is much more direct. Here's the facts. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm just going to tell you the way it is, and that's the way it is. Where I'm more of sort of like an attack dog. Like I've been on Twitter furiously retweeting and reply tweeting to Shapiro and Mastriano and everybody, letting them know like how full of shit they are about essentially everything.
Good. That's what you gotta do. I also think that's a good way to like grow your political Twitter following, is like constantly like go after those guys or whoever's left, right, whoever's running against each other. And then also I would follow like all the local like news stations.
I've been trying to. A couple of them I think actually have blocked me already, which is kind of sad, but you take the most flack when you're over the target. So
yeah, I've been blocked by a lot of people. I've been blocked by people on Twitter I've never even talked
to. Nice.
Because like if you like something, it's so like, I mean, are you relatively new to like the whole Twitter thing? Like the whole
yeah. Sorry, I had to adjust that light.
No, you're good. So it's like
like I was really like I shied away from Twitter. Like before I actually started this campaign, the last tweet that I sent was a Fire Andy Reid tweet, 2006 or 7. It was real young in the infancy of Twitter, and I was
it's real
in his coaching, and then I did nothing else with it forever.
Yeah, like there's a lot of obviously, libertarian people like to call them like micro celebrities on Twitter, which is gross and lame as is. But like they think who the fuck they are because they have like 90,000 followers,
Right.
and someone shits on them and like you like that tweet, and they'll just mega block anybody who liked that tweet before. So they'll block like 40,000 people maybe if the tweet goes
Yeah,
viral, just because
that's the worst. Like that's
yeah,
the most childish thing. You think it was like, oh no, I'm terrified of words.
it's very. This is what I hate, and like you see it though a lot, and Elon's kind of calling it out with the whole Twitter thing, right? So
Right.
he's like, there's too many bots on Twitter. They just did an audit on Biden's
What was it like? 50% of his followers were like bots. I'm
more
like,
than 50%.
oh, more. Oh,
It was like 75 or 50 to 75%. I could be wrong, but it was like over 57. I think someone in the chat listening hit me up with the numbers, but yeah, it was about that.
That's ridiculous.
So you're telling me that, like, again, not everyone who votes has Twitter. I understand that. But if they're pumping up this guy to push agendas, what do you think? Not pumping up other fucking people? So that means like all these influencers,
Yeah, exactly.
all these fucking TikTokers, they're yelling to the void. There's no one there. And then someone was like, "Oh, well, Elon's followers are also faking." I'm like, "That's his point."
Yeah,
like that's his fucking
that's not
point.
the flex that they think it is.
Right? I'm like, you thought you just mic dropped him, you idiot? He's like, "This is a problem."
Yeah,
And Biden tweets out something today about white supremacy is an evil, must be stopped. And then just you read the drone comments of like, thank you, President Biden. Like, you're the best president ever. And you're like, that's probably a troll. Then you click the profile and it's like real. It's like Blue Wave 2020. Like, and you're like, this is a bot. This is what we're talking about. Because no one really tweets like this or talks like this.
yeah. I see that a lot with the stuff, especially with the Shapiro mob, or what he was calling the Shapiro squad, until a bunch of us reminded him that like the initials are SS. That's not maybe how you want to go.
Or
So now he's calling it Team Shapiro. It's like, that's not much better. But
yeah,
like
it's bad.
Sorry, dog hair in my mouth. But a lot of people, like if I reply tweet to him, I'll get like 5 or 6 people. It's like within seconds. Like I barely hit send and had a chance to view tweet, and I've got all these replies from people who are saying like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. We love you, Mr. Shapiro." And I'm like, no, that's not real.
No one loves a politician.
Right.
Like, I mean, like, I know like Ron Paul, whatever, but like, I don't count him. I've talked about like, no one loves like some congressman. Like in today's, like, no one's like, oh, I fucking love Nancy Pelosi, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
As much
It's
as
wild.
Ron Paul stood for and what he said and a lot of the things they did, I never once thought to myself like, I love that guy. I'll say like, yeah, I really identify with a lot of what he's saying, but I've just never had that like hero worship that a lot of people get with politicians or like rock stars or movie stars or anything. Like I just never, that was never really my thing. Like I was just like, we all take shits, so we're not really that different.
I think it comes and goes for me, and it's not even like not like a starstruck thing, just like a thing of like, oh, I really respect that dude or that person's thoughts, like like type of thing.
Right.
But like I don't really get like starstruck. I've met some pretty influential celebrities throughout doing comedy, like and it's like I don't do whatever. Like if it's like just be a normal person, like I'll just be like, oh, what's up, man, and like, hey, what's up, and like that's it. Like it's just I don't really get that, but I do get the admiration of people for sure.
Yeah, and I'm much more of a like an ideas guy. Like if somebody has like a great idea, I'll be like, damn, that's a really good idea. Like everybody loves apparently now, or at least they used to anyway, Neil deGrasse Tyson. Like everybody loved him for a while till he started getting all like super woke and cringy. But I know, I was never like that. I was just like, man, he's got some really, really great ideas. I really like the way this guy thinks. It was never like he's something special. It's like, yeah,
right.
I respect the work that he did. I respect the skill that he has, and natural talent for his chosen field. But a guy puts his pants on one leg at a time. I hope. I don't know. Maybe he's got some kind of crazy contraption that he jumps in and defies gravity for a few seconds and then goes in. But you know what I'm saying? Like we're all just people. At the end of the day.
With Neil deGrasse Tyson, like the thing with him was like, I was like, oh, this guy's pretty cool, and then it became like before the woke cringy stuff, he started doing the thing of like every Christmas he'd be like, you know who else was born? Like Isaac Newton. Like no one cares, bro. I'm not even religious, but it's like shut up. It's like just shut up. Like just shut the fuck up. Like stop trying to make that be that. No one likes that guy. Like no one likes the guy who's like, you know who else is like? It's like, dude, get into a locker. Shut up. Like shut up. Stop being this.
You said you're what 35 now, so you probably don't remember this. There was a show called Cheers.
I remember Cheers.
Of course. So you remember Cliff Clavin?
Yeah.
Grass Tyson is that guy. He's Cliff Clavin. He's like, well, you know that, Normie. Yorkshire pudding was invented during a time of great meat shortages, so it would soak up the gravy and trick you into believing you had more meat than you did. It's like nobody gives a shit, dude. Like you put gravy on it with meat. That's the end of it.
Just shut the fuck up. It's like this isn't like I'm against learning things. Like no, I love learning things. It's a
absolutely love learning stuff.
It's a vibe check.
Like that attitude.
It's a vibe. If you have a cunty vibe. And like if the vibes are good, I'm a degenerate gambler. Not a degenerate gambler, but I'm a gambler. I just like to say it because it's funny. I'm a gambler, right? And I'm a big superstitious gambler. Like I feel like vibes matter. The room temperature, not physical temperature of the room. I mean, like with people, like temperature of the room matters. Like
these guys are winning, these guys are losing.
Yes. Yeah. So like if don't bet against my fucking bet, shit like that. Like everything matters. So if the vibes have to be good. If we're at a party, let's say a Christmas party, okay, and we're all chilling, and we're like, even if you're not religious, like I'm not really religious or anything like that, but my wife's Catholic, she's a Catholic school teacher, so like, we're at a Christmas party, we're like, hey, God, Jesus, whatever, something like that, and then some guy's like, oh, actually, Isaac Newton was actually really born on Christmas, and you're like, shut the fuck up, I don't even care. Just want to punch him in the face. Like that guy's annoying.
If you track the stars back far enough, the star that the three wise men followed was actually around in April. So Jeebus was born in April. It's like, no one gives a shit. We celebrate it on, around
and you're like, we get it, bro. You could be right. Yeah, you're right. Okay, but like, no one's gonna fuck you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking go away. Like, it's an annoying little kid vibe that I fucking hate. It's so fucking annoying. Fuck Neil deGrasse Tyson.
All right, so now we're pissed off all the science nerds that are watching. Who else can we piss off tonight?
Let's go down the list.
All right.
Which one else? So Reno is in a week. And obviously there's like a big tension in the country, in the libertarian country and all that stuff. And I'm pretty fed up with like everything. Like I'm pretty like I'm not going to Reno, right? Like I can't go for many reasons. I have work anyway. I'm working that weekend. It's Platt's reasons I can't go. The LPPA convention was like my Reno, right? Like to me, that wasn't. I put all my energy into that. It's over.
I saw some of the dudes you were making out with. That was a good time.
You were one of them.
yeah. I think I was the first too. So
you were the first. It was against my will, but it was fine. I consented in the end. You won my heart.
I'm a trendsetter, man. What can I say?
But like that, I put all my energy into that, and like when that hit, I was like, all right, I'm libertarianed out. Like I just want to take a break from like everything. So, are you feeling like me?
Yes and no. Like I'm really just up to the gills with like the infighting and this faction versus that faction, and I'm really just trying to focus on like, you know what, we got an election coming up in November. Like we have things that we can focus on. If you guys, and when I say you guys, I mean anybody. Did we lose Adam? Is it my show? Is it Tim's show now? All right, so Tim will take over.
No. I was giving you the floor.
Oh, sorry. I don't know how these things work, man. I'm just a goat farmer here. So like I'm fed up with all the infighting and the factionalism. And I'm really just more focused on like, how can we win elections? How can we expand the message of liberty? Because quite honestly, like, and we're talking about this offline earlier tonight. Some of the folks that had left the party, like, I don't hate them. I don't dislike them. Free association, they can do what they want. I happen to love liberty more than I dislike people. Certain people, there's certain people in the LPPA that I, quite frankly, probably dislike. And that may be, on my end, I just don't know them well enough. So maybe I would like them if I got to know them better. but I really want to focus on the things that we can control, and that's getting our message out of absolute liberty in our lifetime, breaking up the duopoly, defeating the state, winning some damn elections, and spreading the message of libertarianism. If we focus on those things, then I think the petty little infighting and backbiting and factionalism, like that all goes by the wayside. If we can focus on the positive things, on the things that we can control, I think we're unstoppable as a movement and as a party and as people.
Yeah. And again, like I said, I don't want to harp on any of the negative people who caused the rift. But a lot of those people for the last 2 years said that, like, the Mises Caucus, if we lost, we would pack up our ball and go home and cry, and we didn't. And then they literally did that. And that's fucking disgusting. Like, especially, like, they're like, "Oh, Tim, we're your friend," and like, but fuck you now. And they all start their own party. It's like, okay.
It was a little insulting. I won't lie. Like I was hurt, like emotionally. It hurt that people that I had considered just beyond friends, that I considered family, suddenly because they didn't get their way in an election, they pissed off and started a brand new party. After telling all of us at convention that if I lose, I'm going to work with everybody and I'm
Right.
staying here. So it did felt a little disingenuous, and in the moment, it hurt, and I was pissed about it. I was raw. Not gonna lie or sugarcoat it. Like I was legitimately hurt. But I guess it's from being a pro wrestler. I guess maybe I have that ability. I can separate, like, there's the work stuff versus the personal stuff. So I kind of separate the politics stuff and, like, Libertarian Party or this other unnamed party, and the people that I'm still friends with. So the people I'm still friends with, we're still friends. But when it comes to political stuff, like I don't talk to them about it. I know better.
Yeah. It's especially, I had everyone on my podcast, and like I asked them point blank, like, would you stay in the party and help? Yes, 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 yeah. And then, I mean, it's just hypocrisy at its finest. And that's it. I don't want to say, I don't want to harp on it. It's just
Yeah. Well, I'm here to stay, man. I don't
yeah,
know
exactly.
if you can see that. Like I got that shit tattooed, so
I mean, it's
so
like
I'm not going anywhere.
we're almost halfway to 10,000 signatures. It's like we're doing it. We actually give a shit about the
Yeah, and
fucking
like I
movement.
said, that's all we can do is that we just focus on the stuff that we can control. The stuff that's in our wheelhouse to do. I think we're going to be fine. I think all this other backfighting and or infighting and factionalism and division, I think that all goes away. Once we just start focusing on the things that we can control, the stuff that we have, that we're in charge of. I liken it to this. If you were a boat builder, would you focus on the things that make your boat float, or would you focus on things that could make it sink?
Right.
So I kind of approach most problems like that, which obviously if you're building a boat, there's other things to think about, rocks and mermaids and Loch Ness monsters, whatever you. But you focus on the materials that make the boat float, how to keep it watertight, things that you can control. And if you got all that stuff locked down, the stuff that's out of your control, it either works itself out or it kills you immediately, and you don't care anymore.
I missed this post from Audrey. He said, "Who's the?" She said, "Who's the left? Who's?" I can't fucking read.
You want me to get that?
Audrey said. She said, "Who is the best lieutenant governor candidate in the history of the LPPA, and why is Adam Nutter his favorite comedian?" Thank you, Audrey. Sorry, I couldn't read anything you just wrote.
What's the answer to that, though? I don't know.
It's yes. I think it's he's great and he's handsome. Or something. I don't know. Steven wrote, how do we bring in people who default to R's and D's?
That's easy. You got to talk to them on their level. Like we're out working the polls yesterday, and one of the great successes that I had was if you walk up to somebody and they're a Republican, or you kind of sense that they're a Republican, or you see them pull in with a Trump 2024 sticker on their car, like that's a Republican. So you talk to them about the things that they care about, that they control. They say they support the troops. Great, bring up defend the guard, and how we should keep the guard troops here instead of fighting overseas in unconstitutional wars. So that's a great thing. If they're a Democrat, then you start talking about, like, hey, like, we're the Libertarian Party, and since our inception, we've been for gay rights and trans rights and a woman's right to choose. Like since our inception, we've been supporting those things and calling for those things. And once you get to that point, now you have sort of a common base to go off of, and then you can start talking about the things that maybe you disagree on and find out that, well, maybe you don't really disagree as much as you think you did. Like, oh, I sorry, like yesterday was such a long day. Like I'm so burnt out still. Like I can't even think of an example. But that's how I would answer that, Stephen. Thank you.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry, I'm very nervous being on with my favorite comedian. Yeah. I don't get starstruck often, but I am tonight.
I think like the major issue right now is the messaging from the main national platform is garbage. Like
it's been better in its lifetime. Yeah,
they don't like the amount of zero things we've heard about the like all between all the vax mandates and like people losing their jobs and getting they said that fucking much about it, but one judge reverses like a hormone blocker thing in Alabama, and they're like, "This is an egregious attack on personal rights." I'm like, "Oh, but people losing their jobs, so they don't want to take a fucking vaccine, is it?"
Yeah, and I think that's just the personality of that board at that time, which obviously has changed some since then, and will likely, quite honestly, change a lot more.
Yeah,
drastically in Reno. Which, okay, bring it. Let's see. Maybe it's a great thing. Maybe it'll be better for the party. Maybe it won't. We're not there yet, so I'm not forming an opinion on it. Like I certainly hope that it's going to be better. I'm certainly going to, I'm going to keep working here. But honestly, national is not my focus. My focus right now is Pennsylvania and York County.
No, I agree with you. I only bring up national because that's how a lot of people are introduced to it for the first time ever. It's like it's not through like us.
Yeah,
it just might be
a lot of
like
us are working. A lot of us are working to change that, though, my man. Like
good.
A lot of us are going out there and we're doing things at the local level, on the grassroots level. And people aren't saying like, "Oh, you're with the Libertarian Party." They're saying, "Oh, you're with the Libertarian Party of York. You're with the Libertarian Party of Lancaster or Lebanon, or Adams County." Like these great counties that are actually out doing the things in the community, talking to people. They're bringing the people in. We're showing. We're not telling. We're showing people what we're doing. We always preach as libertarians about if we get the state out of people's lives, people will step up and voluntarism. And the default response to that is always like, "Oh, well, no, it won't." It's like, well, okay, we're just doing it. We're not waiting for the state to get the hell out of the way. We're just doing it. We're showing you that not only can it be done, it will be done, and we're going to be the ones that start doing it.
Yeah, that's perfectly put. And I think it does start home. I say this all the time. President means fucking nothing.
No,
like in reality, it really means nothing. What's important is just like not hometown, but like more local shit that could actually impact laws, like council, like city council and shit.
Yeah, I mean, you can call it hometown. I mean, I think we.
Well, I guess
Like it's local stuff.
Yeah.
They used to say all politics is local. And I truly believe that. Like because if you start impacting stuff on the local level, then those people are going to kind of band together and they're going to say like, "Hey, we have this similar idea about how governance should be." Then we're going to move into the county level, and then maybe like a regional level, then maybe a state level. And by the time that movement gets to the state level, now there's another little pocket of organizational prowess that's going on where people are saying, "Hey, we think that we could change this also." So now they're going to work to change that to make it better for them, either to be more free, hopefully, or they're going to be more statist, which we got to put the kibosh on that shit. But what I'm saying is it always comes in like waves, and it starts locally. It's I guess in the 70s they used to say think globally, act locally.
Right.
And I'm much more think locally, act locally, because if you impact the world around you, like that's your sphere of influence. All right, that's what you can control. Like I was saying earlier, that's the things that you have, that you functionally have some kind of control over. What happens in Harrisburg or Washington D.C., the majority of us have no control over that shit. So what we can do is we can focus on making our own little pocket of where we live better for us, better for our families, better for our communities, more free for everybody that comes into that. And then they're going to see that, they're going to want to take that and replicate that.
What is your Lieutenant Governor? I mean, it's like obviously.
You want the rundown on what it does?
Yeah.
So, Lieutenant Governor has very defined and limited roles. First thing it does, it presides over the state Senate. It's the president of the Senate, which would be a great place for me because I would let those assholes know what's up. The other thing that it does is it chairs both the state pardon board and the state emergency management board. The other final thing that they do is they're supposed to get out and do public speeches and work on projects. It's like I understand that that's important, but I think a good administrator needs to be able to, kind of defer tasks. So the one thing that I would really, really look forward to, in addition to being president of the Senate, is being the chair of the pardon board, because that's where you can walk into a position as a libertarian and say, listen, everybody who has been arrested and is up for a pardon for any kind of drug offense, immediately pardon them and fully restore their rights. Because if they're coming up for a pardon and they get out and they're like, well, you've been pardoned, but you can't do this, you can't do that, or you get out on parole and you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't vote, you can't own a firearm. I immediately would say, once you're released, once you've been pardoned, you have a full and complete restoration of your rights. Full stop.
Yeah.
Because I don't think there's anything more libertarian than that.
I can't even own a gun because I have a weed card. So it's like,
yeah, and that's ridiculous. Like you have permission from the state to consume a product that they're essentially endorsing and calling legal. But in order to do that, they're preventing you from doing something else that's actually completely legal and specifically defined in our founding documents.
Yeah, it's wild. Now Jacob's shining in. He says he renounces you for going on the Shit podcast, and that's fair. But
that's fair. That is.
But see, unfortunately, because Jacob is in your county, that makes you guys the ugliest county in Pennsylvania because you have Jacob. So
it does.
Bummer.
But I mean, this is a face for radio, so I get it.
But you're not him, and like he drags you guys down so much. It's like you got to get some models in there to bring up the ratio.
I mean, listen, compared to you. I mean, we're all just fighting for second place.
Thanks, buddy.
You can send the check to the website listed there.
I got you. All right, we were took care of in Bitcoin. So can you there's no fucking debate for lieutenant governor you could do with anybody else.
There might be.
Can we get on that?
There was talk of it that it was going to be something put together with myself, the Green candidate, whose name escapes me right now. Shit, it's been a long couple of days, and we were going to invite. Originally, it was going to be Teddy Davis or Teddy Daniels, but he apparently lost to what's her name, Carrie Del Rosa, out of Pittsburgh, and Austin Davis, who's Shapiro's choice and who got the Democrat nod. So we're hoping that we can put that together. Obviously, Democrat and Republican are, they're way too good for us. But I think we have enough momentum that we could probably get it on PCN and share it out from there, make it as public as possible, and call these guys out for being the gutless cowards that they are.
But that's the problem is we do, and no one they just get away with it all the time. We're like, you guys won't debate us. They're like, yeah, and we're like, all right.
Listen, man,
they're right.
Then we take the fight to them. We start crashing their debates. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. What was that guy in Texas? They used to do that all the time. He had a big cowboy hat on. Alex Jones liked him. I forget his name, but he did that. Yeah, Hoppy or
I forgot. I know you're talking about that.
Yeah, it's Hoppy something shit. But yeah, he just walked right up on stage and crashed the damn debate. Everybody knew him after that.
Yeah. I mean, I
mean, if that's what we have to do, I mean. Listen, man, I was a wrestler, man. I'll do a run in. Doesn't matter.
I think part of it is the good message, especially like you said before, you and Matt have different messaging, which hits better. If you guys just sounded the same, all right, who cares?
Yeah, we'd be Democrats or Republicans.
Right. But the fact that you guys are like, no, we actually believe the same stuff, but here's a different way of looking at it. Right. And
we have a different way of saying it. We have a different approach.
We got to get you guys cool signs for the fall.
Yeah.
Because
the Mac and Hack connection, I was thinking, but
there's so many shit signs that I still around Newtown just for the right, Oz and all this shit. I'm like, we're way more creative than these two fucking clowns. We
yeah.
Cool shit. We should start an attack campaign with signs. Let's say whoever gets the nod for Fetterman, right? Where all of his signs, will put up signs next to his that says chase the black guy with the shotgun.
Unarmed black
right?
guy.
Yeah, an unarmed black guy with a shotgun, like shit like that. Like troll them. Like we should do because that's not illegal. I don't think. Right?
No, I think the only thing you'd have to do is you'd have to have the paid for statement on the sign somewhere.
Okay.
So we start a little pack, like
We should just do that, and we should just put like the most fucked up things these people have done in signs to be like, and then at the bottom be like,
as long as it's true and accurate.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. No, not lie. I'm talking about actual like,
like Josh Shapiro wasted thousands of dollars trying to keep the libertarians off the ballot in 2020, but he says he's for ballot.
I would just print out those signs, put those there, and just be like, blah, 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 vote for Matt Hackenberg, Tim McMaster. You know what I'm saying? Like that.
Right.
Like, that's 100%.
That's a lot to put on a sign, though.
No, you at the very bottom. Like one little line, like vote for.
Wait, who's going to see that? Who's going to see our names then? If you
Tim, you know what? I'm just the idea guy. Okay, this is your guys' job to figure it out.
Okay,
I'm just throwing out good ideas.
I get it.
I'm just throwing out fucking things, man. I don't know. It's a good idea. I think we can do it. I think signage works. I don't think just having a sign that says like vote for Tim.
Vote for me. I'm not that guy. Yeah,
isn't gonna work. Especially we're already the lame party to everybody. We're already the third party, so we're already a joke. Well, let's get some. If we're gonna spend money on the signs, let's make the signs fucking count. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's my pitch for the next board meeting.
They're not cheap, man. I spent a shitload of money on the Senate run, and that was in 3 counties.
Yeah.
So doing it all over the state it's going to take a fair bit of change.
We should do that. I don't know.
Maybe you could do a benefit show for me and Matt for our signs.
Oh, yo, we should do that.
All proceeds go to.
We should do a benefit show. That's actually a good idea.
Yeah. Well, check it. Contact Reed in York. He's putting together something. He's going to have trying to get like Scott Norton, I think.
Oh shit! All right.
For it, like I hope he doesn't kick my ass for saying that. I don't think it was in confidence. He can tell me.
I'll call Scott.
It was in confidence, but
I punched up Scott's fucking stand-up material for him when he did his fucking secret stand-up show.
Nice.
I helped him. So I guess what are you looking to fully accomplish out of your run here, even if nothing comes of it, even if we lose?
So the ultimate goal is to get elected lieutenant governor and sell State House at Fort Indian Town Gap. And then
how much do we waste there? How much of taxpayer money do we waste?
So it's the last time it was assessed was like $450,000, but the upkeep on it is like pushing $1 million a year.
What, $1 million a year?
Yeah,
that we pay for
because there's land around it, and they have to keep everything up to date, and they have to have all the all the connection stuff because in case the lieutenant governor's there or in case the governor comes out to visit, basically it has to just be like the governor's office. As well, like sell that some bitch. Like I have decent cable internet here. Like I'll work from home. It's fine. I'm already doing that for my day job. Cause see, that's the trick is I do that and then I would keep my day job. So in 4 years when they boot my ass out for being free, I could still have a job. But apart from that, like the biggest thing is like spreading the message of liberty, and it's not even the Libertarian Party. It's the small L libertarian movement. Absolute liberty in our lifetimes. That no one knows better how to run your life than you, and the government that governs least governs best.
Yeah,
that's the ultimate goal here. And if we get 4, 5, 6% and we maintain ballot access, great. If we increase our voter rolls, to the point where we can get from being a minor party to being a major party, so much the better. But the main goal is to open people's eyes to liberty.
Mm-hmm.
But the ultimate goal is to win the damn thing. I like to think that I'm kind of pragmatic. Like if I didn't think I had a legitimate shot to win, wouldn't be doing this. I got a 16-acre goat farm out here that I kind of neglect from time to time because I'm doing this stuff. So there has to be a return on it. And if I didn't think I was going to win and be able to enact some serious, real change in Harrisburg, I wouldn't be doing it.
Are your goats cool with dogs?
No. Mainly because we had the goats before we got the dog, so they're not as. So when you go out there, like that's the goats area, not the dogs area. If it was vice versa, they'd obviously be cool with it. But we're looking to maybe get some large guard dogs, like the Pyrenees, and then raise them with the goats from puppies. Apparently, this little monster we have now, the wife is turning into a show dog. So
I wanted to bring my dog to your farm. He's a little terrier and he's cute.
But you can just don't get him near the bucks.
I want him to play with the goats. I think
don't
he'll like
get him
it.
near the bucks. They have horns that are like out to here. They'll.
Oh no, he'll.
He's a little terrier. They'll wear him on a horn.
Yeah, no, don't. If my dog dies, my wife will kill me. She'll be very
Okay, the bucks are where they are, so
I love the goat farm thing. Was that always the thing you were into?
No, not at all.
You became a goat guy? It's a weird thing to get
well,
into.
I became a goat guy. So the story is like this. When we first, when my wife first got pregnant, before my first son was born. I really started looking into like where our food came from because I wanted to be like that dad, that cared about what his kid ate, to put the best stuff in to get the best stuff out. So I started looking into where our food came from, and I really started like digging into like the industrial food system, and damn near became a vegetarian over it because it's that bad. So then, the wife and I, when the kid was born, we started planting a garden. And we got a couple of chickens just to eat some bugs out of the garden, get rid of some chicken scrap, and maybe we'd get a dozen eggs a week. That led to, at one point, we eventually had like 175 laying hens. And that led to, we started raising a couple of chickens just for us to throw in the freezer, which turned into, gradually over time, over a couple of years, turned into us processing between 75 and 150 meat chickens per week for a couple of years consecutive, and raising everything on the farm out here. And then once we got out of the chicken business, we just got a couple of goats because I was like, we got a lot of poison ivy around here, and I heard goats eat poison ivy, and just kind of fell in love with them. We started looking. You look really bored. I'm sorry.
No. I have like pressure in my head from fucking neck injury stuff, so I'm like pushing it like back with my fist so it doesn't hurt.
Okay. I'll stop looking at you then. That's weird. Then.
No, sorry, I'm actually not.
So we just we got a couple of goats, and I started looking into it. And I found out that goat was the number one consumed red meat on planet Earth.
Dude, goat cheese rules.
Yeah,
it's fucking so good.
Yeah. Goat's milk is really good too. Like if you're lactose intolerant or you have like some kind of intestinal issues with regular cow's milk, goat's milk, that's where it's at. It's higher in butterfat, it's lower or higher in folic acid, it's higher in protein, it's naturally homogenized, it's phenomenal. But anyway, just kind of led into, we got a couple of goats, we started looking into the benefits of goat milk. We were originally just going to do milk, and we started looking into the benefits of meat. And I don't do anything half-ass around here. So, it went from like, oh, cool, we've got like 3 goats and one of them might get pregnant to, I've got like 70 goats right now. It's what they call goat math.
I would have a real problem with if a goat, to kill a goat that we raised, I wouldn't be able to do it. There's no way.
Well, I've always been, and I was like this even with the chickens. If I ever got to the point where I felt like I was comfortable taking the life of another living being, I would get out of this business because it means I'm turning into a sociopath.
That's fair.
Every time that we do it, there's always, now I'm an atheist, but there's always in the back of my mind, there's always that little like, I'm gonna just silently say a little something to thank the goat for its sacrifice.
Right.
And for the time that they're alive, like they have literally a phenomenal life.
Yeah.
We get Christmas trees imported for them around Christmas. Because when they eat the pine needles, the pine tar in the needles is like it's like a natural dewormer, so we don't have to load them up with chemicals. They're constantly getting fresh hay, fresh water. We have way more pasture than we need to for the number of goats that we have. Like, so it's just always super, super green. It's super lush. They got, the choice of whatever they want to eat out there. They're always protected from the weather. Like, it's a really good life for a goat.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Except for the last few minutes.
I'm such a pussy. Like I would be crying. I'd be like, yeah, don't do this. It's like crying, holding a gun. This goat said,
the thing is, and you have to go into it with the mindset of like, when this goat is born, I know exactly what this goat is for. Like this goat is for providing sustenance. This goat is for food. This goat will die so that we may live and we may produce more goats. So that goathood lives on.
No, I get it. I get all of it. I
Yeah.
just don't
Well, no, I'm
want
just
to do
trying to
it.
explain what goes on in my head. Maybe that'll make you feel better.
I also like don't respect chickens as much as a goat because it's a bird probably. Like there's levels of animals, like, you know what I'm saying? Like fish, I don't really give a fuck. Like they can't express emotion. So it's like, who cares?
I don't know.
Like
You're
if,
saying it's just a bird. It clearly tells me you've never been chased by an angry bird.
no, birds are horrifying. But my point is like that's the point though. Chickens are less. They're more cold. They're more like there's nothing there. As in like a goat, I feel like a mammal, and they could like
Well, I mean, we've
I don't
had
know.
chickens. We've had chickens already that it seems like they've had personalities.
Sure, I don't know, but if
It just
all I'm saying is gun to my head, if you like kill one of these bird, and then if bird between fish is you going down the order of things that can't really express emotion a lot. And then no, Jake, I'm not asking Tim about the Ravens. We talked too much about Ravens on the show.
what? Why Ravens? I mean, they're
It's
a
a
cool
long,
bird, but
it's a long story. All fair,
I
I'll
mean,
tell you.
I don't like the Ravens because I don't like double murderers.
Yeah, well, and
Which
they
is
beat
why
the
I don't like
Giants.
Pittsburgh. I don't like serial rapists. There, how
Yeah,
you like that?
fuck
Jacob?
Pittsburgh too.
Talk about the Ravens.
Let's go Giants. Also, that reminds me.
Go Eagles.
No, fuck the Eagles. Let's.
I haven't watched football in like 3 years, so I don't even know.
I had to check the score of the Ranger game real quick, but they're not showing me. Because
Fuck the Rangers. They
Hey.
beat the Pens.
stop it. It's right to beat the Pens. Good. Fuck off.
Oh,
To
man, that
Rangers.
hurt. All right, we're done here.
Hey, I'm a New Yorker. That's what I am.
Yeah.
No, we could actually wrap it up because I actually have to go. But Tim,
Oh
thank
yeah,
you.
yep, Jacob. Yep, there you go. Fuck the Cowboys. Yep.
Oh yeah,
100%.
that is true. We could all agree on
Yep.
that. Fuck the Cowboys. That we could all agree on. As a Giants Eagles
Hashtag
fan,
Dallas sucks.
Dallas does suck. We could do that. No, I do. I had health with the wife or something, unfortunately. But I do gotta go. But
Cool.
Tim,
Can I plug my stuff quick?
yes, of course. I was gonna say, please plug everything that you have to
All right,
give.
so
Please,
website.
everything.
As it says on the screen, there is Tim, the number 4, like the 4 horsemen. Woo! PA.com, Tim4PA.com. That is also my Twitter handle at Tim4PA. We're also on the Facebook there. I think it's just McMaster for LT Gov or LT Governor. I look it up. Yeah. So like I said earlier, running a race like this is expensive. Those signs are not cheap. We want to get. We have a shop that's got T-shirts and some glasses and a hat, like a really cool camo hat that I think Adam Nutter should buy and give away at all of his shows. So go there, buy my stuff, help out the campaign, help spread the word of liberty. Tim4PA.com, MattHackenberg.com. Do it up, internet.
Go follow them on Twitter. Go support them. Even if you guys aren't in PA, obviously you can't vote. But if you just
can send me
follow
$5.
on Twitter, yeah,
send me
send
$5.
money. Follow them on Twitter. Follow them on Facebook. Promote, retweet, do all that shit. We don't want fucking.
It helps. It helps get the message out.
Shapiro or Fetterman running shit here. So let's or fucking what's his face or Mastriano, any of those guys. Anybody? Our guys are no one.
The guys that shows up at insurrections. Yeah, we don't want that free.
So let's go donate that money. Go follow them. Sam, you're the man. Thank you for coming out again. Everybody, follow me on all this shit.
Thanks for having me, Adam. You are my favorit comedian.
Thank you. My favorite person. You're my favorite person in New York, and my least favorite person in New York is Jacob Winograd. Don't get off. I'll talk to you off air real quick.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I'll be back next week. I forgot with who, but it's as important. Peace.
Thanks for listening. Find Adam on social media, Twitter and IG at Adam Nutter, or Facebook and TikTok at Adam Nutter Comedy. And for podcasts and merch, check out www.droptent.com. Don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.